Hey everybody, this is Okie Twister 66. Today we're going to install some new graphics on my 2024 Ford Bronco Wildtrak. I'm also going to install this vintage Bronco emblem, so stick around and we'll get started. Hey, thanks for sticking around. So today's installation, it's going to be graphics, and they were supplied to me by Underground Graphics. They also supplied me with these, when I say supplied, I purchased them from them. These vintage Bronco emblems. They're metal. They seem to be of excellent quality, so I'm excited about getting that put on the truck. Now the design that I've chosen are the classic retro hockey stripes. And they're just the sides only. My hood has already got the big Wildtrak vinyl on there, so you know the full hood ones would not work, so I just elected to go with the sides. So it came with 8 pieces. Those two are of course the ones on the very front fender, and then going from top to bottom, you've got the very rear quarter panel, and then the rear door, and then this one up in the front here is actually for the front door. As you can see, one of the cool things, if you look at these little lines right there, those are alignment tabs or marks that you can use to help line up the decals to keep everything straight. Now this is a dry installation. I have done a number of graphics installations over the years on a multitude of different vehicles with different types of graphics. So it's always a challenge. They're always all a little bit different. So let's get started. I think I'm going to start with the emblem. I'm going to heat it up a little bit, and I've got some really small fishing line that I'm going to use to try to maybe get that off if needed. But anyway, so I think I'm going to start with that. So I've got my heat gun on low. And I'm just gonna, don't burn your hands with it. Got it started a little bit, so I'm just gonna kind of heat as I go. I want to try to keep this sticker, decal, emblem, whatever you want to call it, intact. So I'm just going very slow. And it does look like it is gonna leave a little bit of goo on there, but that's no problem with some Goo Gone, or even just tab a little bit of WD-40, but don't go crazy with it. It'll take it right off. Yeah, I'm just going nice and slow. Just kind of heating along the back side as I go. There we go. And just a little bit of residue, not much, just a little there, a little there. We'll get that cleaned off. Okay, I've got the first piece taped up. Basically, I've just got it all roughed in and situated where I want it. These little lines here, they line up right with the center of this crease. And if you do that on both ends, you have a good layout there, and it gives you a good foundation for laying the next one. Now I left just a little bit of overhang here because once it's on, I'm going to wrap that around on the door there, the fender. So what I'm going to do now is remove this tape. I know everything is where it needs to be, so I'm going to remove this tape, and then there's a backing on here. So we're going to remove this. I'm going to leave this here. I've got a little razor blade I'm going to need here in just a moment. Basically, what we're wanting to do, as you can see, the graphics are still on this. What we're going to do is we're going to peel back this to this tape, and then we're going to cut this off. Now, the moment of truth. I'm going to stretch this back, line up this mark, and I've got it right where I want it. It's relatively smooth. I'm going to do a light pressure just with my finger to go down this seam. Not pressing too hard, just enough to make contact so that it'll stick. Okay. Then we're going to take this little scraper and I'm just going to concentrating on the divot for now. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I'm just going to go just nice and gentle. Nothing firm, just gentle. And always work from the center to the outside. Reduces the chance of bubbles. Now you're probably going to get some bubbles. If you get bubbles later on, once everything is installed, you can simply take a very sharp needle, poke the bubbles, and then you can work it down in. You can also heat it up with the heat gun. Now once everything is on, I'll probably go back over this with the heat gun, not liquefying hot, just enough to warm it up good. Go back over it, make sure everything is nice and smooth and is attached nicely. So the reason that we have this here as a pivot point, as you can see, I should have gotten a little closer, but we'll take this tape off and then we'll pull this back and then remove the backing, and then we'll go this way with it. So pretty easy process. Just go slow and easy with it and you'll end up with good results. Once again, I'm going with the divot. That way the graphic gets down in there good. You don't have a bubble running right up the crease. I'm trying to keep the rest of the graphic off the paint. So much easier to deal with potential bubbles and that kind of stuff now. Okay, that looks pretty good. I don't see or feel any weird bubbles. So I'm just going to go work from the center out in this crease. And then we'll come back and get the balance of the graphic. This is all nice and flat. Good attachment. Now we're basically just going to kind of work up this way, working up and this way as we go. And I'm just doing light pressure. That way if I do need to kind of pull it off and reposition, it's not completely adhered to the paint. Just work with the contours of the truck. Okay, any imperfections that you might see are probably just this back masking piece, because what we'll do once we're sure we've got everything where we want it eyeball it really good and make sure our alignment marks are in the right place. And I feel good about it. So next thing we do, we're just going to pull this off. Now, you've got that little piece that's hanging over. Got to get that detached. And just gently pull. I like to keep it, flat as much as possible. And I'm looking for air bubbles as I go. So far, so good. Now this bend here, you need to kind of start angling up. You want to kind of go with the grain or go with the flow. Wow, that looks really good. And then we'll angle back down. Got a good line up here. All the contours look nice. There we go. I don't see any bubbles. It looks fantastic. So fold this around. This could be a little bit of a challenge. I'll open the door, and I think I've got a little plastic tool somewhere I can use to just kind of poke that in. Oh, got this little alignment marker. It's a sticker. Pull that off. Don't need that anymore. Looks pretty good. Oops, the camera wasn't rolling, but what I did was I put a nice piece of tape here that's got a nice straight edge. I measured roughly the Bronco logo needs to be in line with the door handle, roughly. So anyway, so I put this piece of tape. I checked the distance between here and here, make sure everything was, symmetrical and lined up properly with this line here. So anyway, put that up. It's got some blue. This stuff is super sticky. When I put it on there, man, I mean it's unforgiving. So make sure you've got it in the place you want it before you actually press. But anyway, so there it is. I'm really impressed with the quality of these logos. So if you're looking for some of these are metal. They bend quite easily, they say. I don't know, I'm not trying it, but anyway, they've got they're just really excellent quality. I went with the satin finish along with the satin colored vinyl. Now that everything's all where I like it and I'm happy with it, there's no bubbles or anything. This has a came from another graphics thing, but it has a felt thing, so it's easier on the vinyl. Okay, so I'm just going to basically do the same procedure with the rest of the stripes. So I'm not going to show you all that detailed process, but you can see I've got it mocked up. It's where it needs to go. I'm going to peel the backing, cut the strip, put it in place just like we did on the rest of it. And we'll do that with all of the next pieces. So overall, I'm kind of digging it. So we'll see what it looks like in the end, and we'll get a complete view outside in the sunlight, hopefully, once it's all done. Okay, here's a little tip. When you're laying these things out, be sure, and I had to do this, probably at least a half a dozen times. I like to come up to the front and have a nice good look down the side to make sure everything is straight. Okay, here it is, all finished up. Got the stripes on, got the emblem on. Actually, I've had these on a couple of weeks now, and the reason I waited so long to finish filming this and do the video was I did have a little bit of a problem, and it was with the emblem. So what happened was on on one of the emblems, as you can see right here, it just fell off. The night after I put this stuff on, I come out the next morning and the emblem is laying on the ground, but I still see the black 3M tape stuck to the side of the vehicle. So it actually, it stuck great to the car, but the attachment to the actual emblem itself, it failed. So anyway, I had them. They shipped me another one out, no problem, no questions asked. They said that it is a known issue with a few of the ones that are in the satin color or finish. So anyway, they were great. I do highly recommend Underground Graphics. Got a great product. The graphics went on just fine, but I'm very pleased with it. So I hope you like this video. If so, please give me a thumbs up, hit me with some comments, and hit that subscribe button. This is Okie Twister 66 signing off. Until next time, ride and drive safe, 2 and 4 wheels down. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.